Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Audio bandwidth for the Daily GizWiz is provided by Winamp. Subscribe to the Daily GizWiz and all your favorite podcasts with the ultimate media player. Download it for free at winamp.com. Video bandwidth for the Daily GizWiz is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
It's time for the Daily GizWiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1289 for Thursday, February 17th, 2011, the Kyocera Echo. And now, get ready for Dick. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for another Rock and Roll Thursday.
Does the GizWiz need another crappy theme? Yes, indeed. It's Thursday. The GizWiz needs. It's Thursday. Another crappy theme. It's Thursday. The GizWiz needs. It's Thursday. Another crappy theme.
That is the song that always gets my blood moving. Tom Merritt filling in for the vacationing Leo Laporte on the Daily GizWiz. And now here's Dick.
Leo.
I mean,
Oh, no, it's not Leo.
I'm feeling, no. sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I thought I had this bad dream, and it was so silly. I woke up and I thought Tom had hosted the show. Okay, it's not a dream. It's a full-fledged nightmare.
It's a full-fledged living nightmare.
How are you?
Well, except for, being a full-fledged living nightmare, I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, good, good. Oh, speaking of nightmare, I have a semi-surprise for you.
Really now?
Which you may or may not think.
You shouldn't have.
Which you may or may not, and I'll remember to mail one out.
Shouldn't have.
When I get to Mad on Monday. Have you ever seen the TV show?
You didn't.
Yeah, I did. I did. Have you ever seen the TV show Undercover Boss?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever watched an episode. I've seen ads, promos for it.
The theme is a CEO of a company goes out and pretends to be an employee, and they cover it, the fact that there are 19 producers and 87 cameras, by saying they're doing some sort of a test of employees to see who's the best. So anyway, in the next issue of Mad, the Justin Bieber issue, I wrote Undercover Boob, and the guest boob of the week is Donald Trump. And one of the people he goes to visit is, "Hey, I'm Tom Merritt."
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So
really?
I'll send you a copy. Yeah.
Please do. Thank you.
I'll
buy some for my friends.
Okay. Oh, no, I'll send you the extra copy.
For my friend?
For your friend. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's imaginary, so...
Oh, that's okay. I'll send you 2 imaginary copies.
Perfect.
Right.
That's exactly what we...
Do you know a comedian, Paula Poundstone? That name ring a bell?
That sounds very familiar. Paula Poundstone. Yeah.
Yeah. She has... I've not seen her in years, but she...
You're not going to say I look like her, are you? I get that.
No. But Playmates, this is what brought it up, and it just broke me up. She said, "When I was a child, I was so lonely, I made up 2 imaginary friends, and they would only play with each other."
So sad. Yeah, I know exactly what she... it was a joke.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, was it too close to home? I'm sorry about that.
It's a little right somewhere up here, probably.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
so this is a rock and roll Thursday. Is there something that either rocks or rolls?
Well, actually, no.
No.
There's no way I can work that into this opening, but it is magic. Okay, it's magic
What about,
because
well, okay, well then that fits for Thursday, which is in honor of Thor, who is a magical Norse mythological god with a hammer.
that's that's what I was going for. I'm glad you picked up on that because
Good.
yeah, it was very. I said Tom's never going to pick up this Thursday magic, but phew, you are on the ball.
You got to get up pretty close to noon to fool me.
Yeah, that's about the time I get up, so it works out fine. Yeah,
Right.
So for weeks, Sprint was sending out these invites. What does Sprint have up its sleeve? What does Sprint have up its sleeve? So they had this event here in the city at the Edison Ballroom where they had live David Blaine. Now, do you know his work?
I do know the Blainester, as no one calls him. But yeah, no, I do know David Blaine. In fact, he often tries to suffocate himself, right?
Yeah, he does weird. It starts out with him. The curtain goes up, and he's in like a tank about the size of a phone booth, a little bigger, filled with water, and he's submerged, fully dressed. And for a minute, it looks like he's choking, and you're thinking, God, there's no breathing apparatus. I hope he's not choking. And then he actually, instead of throwing up, lets a lot of fish come out of his mouth. So he starts to populate this tank with fish from within his body, takes out a cigar, and then lights it all underwater.
Well, that's magic.
That is magic. And then at the end, he breaks free of the water, so you can see that he was in water. And it was to introduce, and what did Sprint have up its sleeve? Something new from Kyocera, and it's called the Echo. So I'm going to talk about the Echo. I got to play with it. Didn't get. I was going to do a hands-on review, but those alarms at those doors, they are really efficient. You know, I was 30 feet past the entrance. Dick, we only have 3 of those. And
then David Blaine is like spitting fish at you.
Yes, exactly. So the Echo's pretty neat. I think the Echo has a chance if you like unique things. So what it is according to them, and I don't think, unless you know of one, do you know of any dual screen, touch screen smartphone yet?
It's funny is I didn't know of anything like that until I have no idea what David Blaine had to do with it, but until the Sprint announcement of the Kyocera Echo, and somebody sent into the Tech News Today email box a link to a Dutch triple screen.
Are you
touchscreen.
Kidding me?
And so I was floored. I was like, really? I mean, Sprint just made such a big deal about this, and now and I clicked through. It was just it was concept art. They were trying to fool me into making some correction on the show without checking it out. But it was just a concept piece. So I think this is the first one anybody's actually built.
Right. And what I like about it is you can use the screens in multiple ways. For example, it has this very wild hinging system. So you can have it totally folded so it looks like a single touchscreen phone. You can open the screen up. What I like best is you can open the screen up so like it's a mini laptop. The entire lower 3.5W VGA screen is the keyboard, and the top screen is what you're typing on. You can fold it all the way open and make one image cover both screens. Or in certain apps, like in the photo app, you can have all your thumbnails on the lowest screen, and as you touch each thumbnail, it becomes a bigger picture on the upper screen. It's really neat. Now, I was asking around, what do you think of this? And one guy said, oh, it looks sluggish to me because both screens are running off that 1 gigabyte Snapdragon processor. Boy, I played with it. It didn't look slow to me, but I thought the technology was pretty neat because you can end up with a 4.7-inch screen when you open the two screens together. Now, granted, there's a black bar across the middle because it's two separate screens sharing that one image. But I thought it was very neat. And, of course, the big question
it kind of has a gutter, doesn't it? Like when you're trying to use it as a single screen.
Yes, it does. You know, the guy was saying there that amazingly your eye gets very used to that, and suddenly you sort of see the whole image if you're using the two screens with one photo, and the black bar tends to vanish. I only had only played it for 10 minutes, so I can't vouch for that. But the big question was, what kind of battery life are we talking here? Well, Sprint is doing something I think is kind of unique, is it ships with two batteries, and the charger for the phone has a piggyback on it for the second battery, so that you can be charging, if you let them both die, you can charge both batteries at the same time, or you can hot swap the battery while it's plugged in. And with the two batteries, with the two screens, they're still shooting for the magical $199.99 with the 2-year contract price, which I thought was pretty neat. The battery is a little bigger than I think most phones. It's 1,370 milliamps. The phones I have range between 1,000 milliamps, 1,200 milliamps. So this is 1,350. They say the talk time is 5 hours. The second battery is included. I'm just looking at other features here. Oh, yeah, 5-megapixel camera, records 720p HD video. No front and back camera, so you can't do a video call. 1 gigabyte internal memory, ships with an 8 gigabyte micro SD card. Supports cards up to 32. I think that ships with Android 2.2. Now,
that was the disappointment for me, is that it doesn't ship with 2.3.
Yes. I know. And the funny thing is, it's not going to be available for about 6 weeks. So, you know, I don't know why they wouldn't just put 2.3 on it. But
and
anyway.
It's just and you mentioned this, it's just a 3G phone.
It is a 3G phone.
I mean, well, I shouldn't say just, it's a 3G phone, but yes. Sprint has WiMAX, has 4G capability, as they call it. They got faster speeds. So if they're going to come out, this is going to be their franchise phone, their big smartphone leader. You'd think that it would be dual 3G and WiMAX. But
yes, I'm wondering if it wasn't in production for a long time, and they figured, let's just release it now before we spend another 6 months updating everything. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. And at the event, I didn't think to ask that. I was kind of just bowled over it. I happen to like gimmicky things, and I thought, this is something that you're going to go around a lot and say, ooh, look at this, look at this.
Check out my phone. I can run apps and listen to music at the same time.
I can run 2 different apps doing 2 different things. While I'm doing this with my fingers, I can do all of that.
I have a country video playing on one screen and a Western video playing on the other.
And my headphones are going berserk. Yeah.
And my brain loves it. My brain is gravy.
The Sprint Echo from Kyocera. And by the way,
you know what's funny is that they're calling it the Echo, which for a cell phone you wouldn't think would be such a great name, because one thing you probably don't want in your voice quality is echo. But I know they're referring to the screen.
They originally were going to call it the Dropout. And I thought, that's not
right before the announcement. You said, I don't know that this name.
On second thought, go with Echo. Go.
Yeah, well, it's an echo of video, but that's normally a reflection.
Yes, and also the fact that you're doing 2 totally different things on the 2 screens is not an Echo either, right? Because an Echo would be the first screen echoes it on the second screen. But,
right.
You know, maybe they printed the boxes. How do I know?
Maybe we're parsing this a little too close.
That could be. There's no parsley involved in this at all.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, I always like to see the parsley, but I never eat it. Do you?
No. It's a garnish. That's all it is.
You're not supposed to. It's like the pineapple ring, which is long gone. I think we should bring back the pineapple ring. I always thought that was pretty.
If you ever had my pineapple upside down cake, you would know where all the rings have gone.
There we go.
You know, by the way, after the event, David Blaine just roamed through the audience. He is really amazing.
Yeah.
He was standing right next to me. He handed a guy a card. He showed us all the card, a jack of spades, slid it between two fingers, the guy holding two fingers, put another card underneath it. Then he put one card on top of the other and back and forth and back and forth. And he said to the guy, so which one is the jack of spades? And he said, it's still the top one. I thought it was still the top one. So the top card is blank and the bottom card is an ace of spades. The original card was just gone. And, you know, he does it in this laid back kind of fashion. He really is amazing. He's amazing.
I never play poker with that guy, though.
No, I wouldn't either.
For that reason, right there. He also, he's really, because he's so laid back, it's really hard to read him.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. I believe it is time to read us a letter. Maestro, the letter's theme.
Thank you.
It's a brand new day and a brand new week. Baby GizWiz 20th Street. 5 more gadgets, 5 more shows. We're gonna keep Nicky on his toes. Y'all can dance, but please don't sing. GizWiz theme is a sad, sad thing. Bad for you and they're bad for me.
What just happened?
Wow.
Here come the letters.
There we go.
Those lovely letters. Here come the GizWiz letters. Now.
Wow,
All right,
that was
there's
like
a letter.
Yeah, theme-orama there. Whoa.
We got a little country theme opening and then into the letter remix.
Amazing.
I'm gonna have to
Our letter comes from Dennis Meyer, M-E-I-E-R. And he says, Dick, I know from listening to you and Leo, you love LEDs. Yes, I do. During the recent round of snow and ice storms in the Northeast, I noticed traffic signals with LED lamps were caked with snow and ice and not visible to drivers. This might be one of those forehead slapper moments. Oh, right. LEDs don't put out enough heat to melt the snow. So what do? Ice scrapers on big sticks? How about attaching a de-icing system with a nozzle pointed at the lamp and a pump and a reservoir located in the ground with tubing up the nozzle? We can point a camera at the lamp to monitor when the lamp needs de-icing. We can outsource this monitoring system to India or China. Nah, running all the tubing into the signal lights, that could be prohibitive. So look for my new gadget, ice scraper on a stick, $5.99. State and municipality special, $1,382.64. This guy knows how pricing works for the government. X-ray fixer, Westchester, PA. I did notice that the new LED light, first of all, they are so bright that when I first installed them, I kept going outside. I live 3/4 of the block from the corner, and I kept thinking there was a fire truck or a police car or something with a red light right outside my door, and it was indeed the new LED red light down on the corner. So they are bright, but they are not warm. So
All light, no heat.
Yeah, yeah. I think Eileen said that about, oh, no, there's something. She was drinking. It was dinner. I won't go there.
When would she was
no, nothing.
You talking about my wife, Eileen, or
no, it was a little intimate dinner Eileen and I had, and we were just talking about.
Oh, I didn't know you guys had dinner without me. That's interesting.
Oh yeah,
No.
I'll
have to ask her. About that.
I mean, you were in the other room, so we didn't want to bother you.
Was I asleep?
Drugged. Sleeping. You were sleeping.
Night.
I'm sorry, sleeping.
That was a great night. I do remember that. You know what? I've heard about this LED issue from people a lot, and some folks have written in and said that they actually have attached heaters to stoplights. But the problem is they put in the LED lights to save cost on energy, but then they have to add heaters to them to melt off the snow in the winter, so it kind of loses that advantage.
Yeah. So maybe LED should only be legal in Miami Beach. But you're right. I mean, God knows what it costs to retrofit those lights. But knowing the way the government spends money and the city spends money, it was probably not cheap.
But they are pretty.
They are pretty.
You know what my biggest problem with stoplights is, Dick?
What?
Red-green colorblind people.
Are you one of those?
Have to use stoplights that are red or green. The only thing they know is when they're yellow.
Really? Are you not colorblind, are you?
No, I'm not. But I've known plenty of people who are, and they say like, I just know that the top one is. Oh,
I was just going to say, isn't that what is it? Is the top always the red? I know it's supposed to be standard, so that.
Yeah, I think the top one's green, yellow, and then red. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not colorblind because I can't remember for sure, but I think that's the way it goes.
Okay. Well, they should make lights then that change into, they would sense. See, this would be a very economical solution. They would sense that you're colorblind and turn other colors. I mean, how hard could that be?
You look over across the street, you're looking, you know how you do sometimes, well, you don't drive, but a lot of times you're waiting for your light to change, so you look for the yellow on the other one.
I do that all the time.
Well, you do when you're just crossing the street, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes you might look over and it'd be like purple, pink, and something else.
That would be confusing. That would be confusing. Yeah, no, New Yorkers do that. It's because you don't, if the light is starting to turn red where you want to go, you instead look at what it's going to turn to traffic coming from what it's going to turn to. If it's still red for them, you can run like crazy. Because
you can skate across. Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for our Thursday. I'm looking forward to the Gadget Warehouse tomorrow. I have a special intro planned.
Oh, great. You know about the involved, very carefully planned intros. Okay, this is good.
I will be reading.
You have someone pre-wrote it for you, or you?
I will be. No, I've adapted it from a previous poet.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I will be reading it.
In that case, I'll be here.
DAILY. It's the Daily GizWiz. It's the Daily GizWiz. It's the Daily GizWiz.
It makes its own gravy.
Yeah.